The villain era or the hero era? Astrologers often debate whether this transit leads to a utopia, a world of free energy and equality, or a dystopia, a technocracy where we are all monitored by AI. Pluto's nature is to show us both. It forces us to look at the ugly side of technology, surveillance, social isolation, and hive mind thinking, so that we can consciously choose to build something better. We are essentially in the beta test phase of a new version of humanity. The bugs are being found, and the system is crashing, but the final version promises to be more liberated than anything we've seen in centuries. The transit of Pluto through Aquarius, which began its definitive 20-year stay in late 2024, represents one of the most profound astrological and sociological shifts of the 21st century. In the symbolic language of the stars, Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, not in a literal, morbid sense, but as a catalyst for total metamorphosis. It functions like a forest fire. It clears away the deadwood of outmoded structures to make room for a new ecosystem. When this force of creative destruction meets Aquarius, the sign of the collective, technology, and radical innovation, the result is a systemic overhaul of how humanity organizes itself. The dissolution of the old guard. For the past 15 years, Pluto was in Capricorn, the sign of top-down hierarchy, traditional banking, and centralized government. During that era, we saw the peak of the institution. However, as Pluto transitions into Aquarius, those rigid, vertical structures are beginning to fracture. The death aspect of this transit involves the crumbling of systems that rely on secrecy, absolute authority, and gatekeeping. We are witnessing the twilight of the great man theory of history, where a few individuals at the top of a pyramid dictate the flow of resources and information. Aquarius is a horizontal sign. It favors the network over the hierarchy and the many over the few. Consequently, global structures that cannot adapt to a decentralized model are likely to face existential crises. This includes traditional financial systems, which are being challenged by blockchain and decentralized finance, and traditional media, which has already been disrupted by the democratization of content. The digital renaissance and the rebirth of society. The rebirth offered by Pluto in Aquarius is centered on the concept of the global village, but with a modern, high-tech twist. Aquarius governs technology and the future. Under this influence, society is being reimagined through the lens of radical interconnectedness. We are moving toward a period where the power of the individual is magnified by their ability to plug into a global collective. This rebirth is not without its labor pains. The shadow side of Aquarius includes technocracy, surveillance, and the hive mind mentality. The challenge of this era will be to birth a global society that uses technology to liberate rather than enslave. We are seeing the emergence of new social contracts, agreements about data privacy, AI ethics, and universal basic needs that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. The rebirth is essentially the transition from being subjects of a nation-state to being nodes in a global, digital physical network. Power to the people, the shift in sovereignty. Historically, when Pluto enters Aquarius, we see the rise of the masses. The last time this occurred, 1778 to 1798, the world saw the French Revolution and the signing of the U.S. Constitution. The core theme was the shift of sovereignty from the crown to the people. In the 2020s and 2030s, this theme returns, but the territory being fought over is no longer just land, it is information and digital space. The global structures of the future will likely be more fluid and open source. We are moving toward a society where identity is defined more by shared interests and digital communities than by geographic borders. This is the ultimate Aquarian rebirth, the creation of a borderless intellectual and social landscape. While the collapse of familiar systems can be frightening, the Aquarian promise is that by tearing down the walls of the old fortress, we finally allow the light of innovation to reach the entire village. The path forward. Ultimately, Pluto in Aquarius demands a total psychological evolution. It asks us to move past the tribalism of the past and recognize our role within a larger, global organism. The death of the old world is necessary because the old structures can no longer contain the complexity and speed of modern human life. As we navigate this 2-decade journey, the goal is to build a society that is as resilient as a network and as humane as a community. We are not just witnessing the end of an era, we are the architects of the next stage of human civilization, tasked with ensuring that the new structures we build are inclusive, innovative, and, above all, free. Subscribe, like, and share.